Space. The thing we have to cross.
These are the voyages of the U.S.S. Horizon.
Its ongoing mission, to seek out new life.
To swear it was unstunned the whole time.
And to boldly claim we can fix it.
Welcome back, Terrible Warriors, to our final episode in our final run-through of Star Trek's Adventures the Living Campaign. We're playing through the Displaced, one of the adventures written by Jim Johnson, and we are almost done. This is our last bit. We've got our hangers on because we did a 2-for-1. We did 2 campaigns back to back, so it's been a wild ride. As we come here, we got our ship in dire straits though. The Horizon, trapped as it is between 2 planets colliding towards each other. Maybe we'll get it out of the way. Maybe we won't. We'll find out. In the meantime, we have to return to our planet, where Assessor Tredick is trying to do what he can to save the Tilakal that he's been left behind to look after and preserve. I am not alone at this table, of course. These are all happening to my players here from Starfleet. I have our captain of the Horizon up in space.
Space.
The final resting place.
That thing I can't out of. I am Conal Macbeth, better known in the nerd community as Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terawatt, playing Captain Gavin Schofield.
And Erika Szabo. I am playing Vulcan Counselor Tazar.
Our other captain, we got more than one,
Well,
running
by station
the
only,
Triton.
not by rank.
One day.
Joshua Barbeau playing Commander Conal with a K Haddock. Yeah, he's not killed anybody yet.
To
you
his
know
knowledge.
of.
I mean, you blasted some Romulans.
I blasted some Romulans pretty good. Maybe.
And you did leave someone possibly to die. Maybe.
Possibly.
Big shrug on
People
that.
have died on his watch. That's not the same as him.
Yeah.
He's not covered in blood.
No, I mean, you left Sigmund to, self-destruct their ship. Anyways. Semantics. Another person who likes semantics would be a science officer.
Indeed, I am the Velvet Duke of the Dandies, playing Lieutenant Commander Bolasa, Science Extreme.
So we are on the surface of the Tilakal planet here in Candidate 3 when Tilakal, you've helped him restore power to the transporters. But as you go out, you are overwhelmed by Romulan soldiers. There's little more than you can do. Gather what you can, make a run for the Papa Bear before the planet is torn apart by gravimetric waves. Planet itself, up in the sky, all you can see now is Organ 3 approaching, itself coming apart at the seams. The horizon's up there somewhere, but up in the sky like that, it's just a dot. The planet convulses under countless stresses placed upon it, and you have to make a mad scramble back to your ship. Meteorite strikes, falling debris, falling all around you. And it's just the 2 of you plus your Stephen Prince clones. Only calling them Stephen Prince clones because we're using Stephen Prince's character sheet. But it's Xena that Neil is playing, and your Sassafras.
Jeff
What was
Schmabel?
it? Jeff Schmabel.
Yeah, Jeff Schmabel.
Jeff Schmabel. So the 3 of you.
Schmabel.
I mean, let's how are you? What's going on? We're checking in on you. I'm just describing it, but you're the ones who are actually there.
Assessor Trebek, we have to leave.
Yes, it's time for you to go. You've overstayed your welcome. Time to go.
Can you help us get back quicker?
And he looks around and he thinks, yes, the way. I know there's a and he starts leading you in through tunnels as they're collapsing, making lefts and rights, and you're feeling those buzzes and that stuff. As you go though, some of those hallways you walk in and there's Romulans just outside the gaps in the hallway, and in one time you go through and Tredick is like, it's just another one to go, and as he buzzes you through a teleport, you're in a hallway and take cover. There's Romulans coming back your direction. They're in the hallway. Oh no, wrong way! And he runs off in a different way, off into an alcove somewhere as Romulans open fire and disruptor blasts are going.
Officer Jeffrey Schmabel opens fire.
Yeah, with your Type 3 phaser rifles that you spent all that thread on together.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, what is that? It's daring, I guess, and security?
Schmabel, Mr. Schmabel.
Yeah, daring and security difficulty 2 because it's a ranged attack.
Officer Jeffrey Schmabel is a hero. 2 successes.
2 successes.
One was under the 4 for security. So does that create an advantage? I rolled a 3 under 4.
Yeah, what kind of advantage do you want to create?
Just buy time for everyone to follow.
Okay. So you get like a high yield on the phaser, and you hit like a cone out. You stun a bunch of centurions and a few more open fire. I've got like a whole bunch of threat that I keep being told that
Go nuts.
I'm spending. So I'm going to
Jeffrey Schmabel will die a hero.
The 4 here to give myself reinforcements. And I rolled a natural 20.
Oh no!
And an 18 in there. But 2 of those will hit.
One of them's an advantage.
And I spent some time for the.
And that's another nat 20 and another advantage.
So they create a couple of advantages in the form of it says I got equal advantages and complications.
Yeah.
They are going to screw themselves over by also trapping Jeffrey Schmabel.
Yep.
They're collapsing the roof down on you.
Oh no!
So they're shooting and things are going around, and then just as that happens, like one of those meteorite strikes they're talking, and a falling spire, and you are now cut off from the rest of the away team. And Tredic is leading Lhasa and Xena and Tazar off down another hallway, and you and you hear over your comm and your tricorder, they're gone.
Yep,
they're just fucking gone, and then there's just more phaser fire or disruptor fire coming. From
he just goes ham with that phaser. Just remember Schmabel. He just shoots, goes crazy. 2 successes, 1 advantage.
Okay, what advantage do you want to cause, and do you want to just bring the whole chamber down on everyone?
Yeah,
like Samson style.
Yeah.
So you just start blam. You start taking out loading struts and the building, and then the whole
thing collapses.
And you take out the entire squadron of Romulans.
So heroic.
So heroic.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's just the 3 of you running through the hallway.
More heroic than
and I'll let you play
than a red
Xena
shirt
because Neil had to
deserves.
take off early.
Oh, sweet.
So you're with the other group. You're one of the other Stephen Prince clones.
Sweet.
And as you're going through, more terrain is breaking out underneath you. Give me I'm spending some threat here. It's a difficulty of 2. Okay. A daring plus fitness.
All right.
Difficulty 2 as the ground underneath you is falling away.
Daring and
oh, hey, that's a 1.
fitness.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I succeeded.
Okay, so you create an advantage of you can also save another.
Wait, daring and fitness are both attributes.
Tazar.
Yeah.
Tazar, just before you have a chance to roll, Lhasa grabs your hand and pulls you over the chasm.
Oh, nice.
Jump
Thank you
themselves.
so much.
So now, Xena, it's all on you.
Okay, so you said roll
Fitness and security?
and security. Okay. Fitness and security or daring?
Or
Could
daring.
I use daring? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll use daring and security because he's got 1 extra point in that.
Yeah.
So I got to get under 14.
Xena knows parkour.
We'll roll these 2, and that's 2 fails. No criticals.
Are we going to save Xena, or are we letting the red shirt fall into the chasm?
Thank you for making it easier for us to get away, because fewer numbers is.
Yep.
So the ground is running, and
Thank
it's
you for your
falling down
service.
underneath like a bad Crash Bandicoot level. And as you go to make a jump, you get the first go at it, Lhasa. You grab Tazar's hand and you throw her over, and you make the leap. And then just as you look back, though, Xena's running, and her foot kind of hits the ground and tries to jump, but it's already kind of gone. So it's like a
the
Wile E.
ground
Coyote
collapses
moment.
as she's jumping.
And it's just this silent, like there's not even a sound. It's just a gone.
Oh, so she's not in
Have
the
you ever-
air
have you
until
ever
she looks
watched-
down,
you
and
ever
then
watched,
Wile E. Coyote drops.
You ever watched the
Yeah.
Everest movie with
Yeah.
Josh Brolin?
Oh no, I missed that.
And there's a harrowing part where eventually someone falls off a cliff, and it's just silent. Like you don't even notice it.
They're gone.
There's no sound. There's no
Yeah.
screen. There's no nothing. It's just that's just
rough.
what happened to Xena.
Xena, thank you for your courage.
And
She was a warrior to the end.
Yes.
as it's happening, though, you come to the last tunnel and you see you come outside, and there is the Intrepid class,
which has
Papa
been trying.
Bear.
Papa Bear.
The Intrepid, which has been trying to locate them this entire time.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Captain Knight, you're there, and all of a sudden they blip back onto your systems, and you're like, people are like, we've got to go. The whole planet is collapsing on itself. We have to leave now. And you're like, 1 more minute. Just give them 1 more minute. And then just as you're like, fine, it's time to go. Blue alert. Get ready for it to lift off.
Beam them
Captain,
up.
I see 2 life signs coming out. They're running towards the gangplank.
Energize.
The transporters won't work on the planet right now with all these. They have to make a run for the ship as the ground underneath you is falling apart. And here's another 2 threat. Difficulty 2, fitness and security would be my default to make the run to the planet as this is all going.
No successes.
None
Nothing.
successes.
And
1 success.
1 success. So they're not gonna make it. They say the Captain Knight. They're like, they stumble, they fall, the ground is collapsing underneath them. One of the spires falls down, cutting you off between the
All right, I don't care if the
Papa Bear and that.
gravimetric disturbances are interrupting it. Energize those transporters.
I mean, this is how you get 2 Vicks.
you could do like a Millennium Falcon and like move the
Can you
ship
lift the
physically
ship
over
up
to
and
them,
move it towards them.
and then they hop onto the gangplank as
It'd be
it's
always
like.
daring
alternative
plus
paths.
con.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't
To
be like
maneuver
the
that
Uber
ship.
that makes you go across the highway to get to them.
Exactly.
Daring plus con.
1 success.
1 success. That'll do
Can
it.
the
If
ship help?
do I have to get lower, or if I match the number, is that
Matching
enough?
counts.
That's fine. Matching it counts.
Then 1 success.
So the ship comes over and you're like, you see the ship lifting up and you're like, they're gonna leave us, and then it comes towards you and they like drop like a rope ladder, and they pick you up, and
So
just as you're
primitive.
going though, but like because of this, the ship is being struck by meteorites and by other things going through. So it's success at a cost. Take 1 breach on structural integrity on the Papa Bear, and you lift off the planet. Assessor Tredick does not come with you. He stays in the tunnel, and when you lift off, you just see him kind of standing there staring up. And just as he sees that you're making the safe and you're making the getaway, he turns and disappears back off into the tunnels.
I think at him, goodbye and thank you.
Yes.
Path 3, Scene 3, back on the horizon.
Oh boy.
You are in a bad place.
Triton's on its way to
Triton
assist.
is on its way to assist, but your engines are underpowered as everything is being put into shoring up the ship. You are holding back the forces of an entire planet long enough for the Papa Bear to make its escape. You get word that they are beginning to lift off of the planet, and it might you have given them enough time, but have you done it so at the expense of your own ship? Your con officer can't get the engines up and running. Jared Cherney can't give you the power, or at least they're saying that they can't. And that by redirecting power to anything that isn't the structural integrity of the ship itself will fall apart. This is very similar to what already happened in Tug of War that Haddock goes through.
Are the comms down, or can I hail?
Your comms
the
are
ship?
open. You can hail.
I have a plan. You're not gonna like it.
Go. Okay. What do you got?
I plan to initiate
Don't say ram me.
a very brief warp jump.
Yo, I'm sorry. Are you initiating a Schofield maneuver?
Yes, I believe I am.
Oh my god.
I learned from the best. I'm initiating a very brief warp jump. I'm going to stop the warp right above the horizon, engage our tractor beam, and then re-engage warp to pull you out of there.
Understand that stopping just above us will put you subject to all of that gravimetric disturbance. They might crush you.
I'm hoping to build up enough momentum.
Because directly above
to
me
not have-
is that other planet.
Yeah. I'm hoping that I'll have built up enough momentum from my brief warp jump that will be able to squeeze right through.
You just
Time is
grab
of the
me
essence,
and
captains.
use the momentum to cascade
Failure
out.
to pull this up will mean that a gravimetric wave that is now bombarding itself off of Organ 3 will hit the horizon. and will deal some very massive amounts. As well, a collective series of debris are rising up from the planet as it's destroying itself, and it's a cascading ring of debris is moving towards the horizon.
That's the horizon.
Yeah.
You've created
Like
a bubble,
a
where
bubble
you are
of space where I'm redirecting.
The
Okay.
gravita- so if I warp right through
The
this
deflector
very
shield
tiny
can only
thing,
hold so much. It's going to blow soon.
if I
Okay.
aim my warp right here, grab you with the tractor beam,
Yeah.
and
So you'd have
pull out of there
to
before it all explodes.
you'd have to do it underneath me. So
Yeah.
turn upside down, jump under me, and then grab and run.
That's
That's
the
his
plan.
maneuver.
All right, do it.
Okay, so that sounds like daring.
Definitely daring, and I don't believe in the no-win scenario.
And, all right, yeah. So you
I
get a
am getting
1.
my
You're going to use your
determination.
determination point. Daring and con would be my default. This is a piloting maneuver.
Right, but I am using my command to tell my pilot to
Uh-huh.
pull this off.
Okay, well we have our pilot
Yeah, I
on
can
your
roll.
on board.
Here I am.
Yep.
I came up with the plan.
So
and
the
I'm
pilot is
ordering a
rolling, and
pilot.
you're rolling the assist roll in terms
Okay.
of command and
Yes.
presence.
All right.
So wait, I'm only getting one.
It's
die?
a difficulty
Correct. Yes.
of
Daring
4.
Oh my god.
Daring and what? Con?
Daring and con.
Daring and con.
Do it.
Maybe.
Difficulty of 4 with the assist from the engines and con on the ship,
Okay.
and the captain's orders, which count as your 1 success
Okay,
die
I'll
with
roll for
your
the ship.
determination.
Okay.
So
You don't have to roll; you're getting it at an automatic 1 advantage.
my determination is
Yeah.
creating this.
Yes.
And
So we got 2 successes.
it's rolling for the ship.
And you said the ship you don't have to roll for. It's an automatic 1.
no,
you said
my
No,
my
the
no-win
commander-
scenario
the commander's
is the
value.
automatic one.
the value. So you get an automatic 1.
And
All
now
right,
you're
rolling
so
for the ship.
now okay. So then you roll for the ship.
What roll is this? It's a
Engines
con
and con.
Engines and con.
and engines. 1 over.
Spend a momentum.
You don't have any momentum.
Here, you can have some
Buy-
threat.
buy
Buy a threat.
momentum.
There.
There's another success.
Ah.
Because I was gonna say, if you didn't want to spend that, it will succeed, but you'll take the damage from the debris that was coming for the horizon in the process.
Oh, there is no way.
Like you would
survive
come
that.
out of the
No,
warp
of course
just as
not.
the debris
No
field
offense.
hits you.
Oh goodness, no.
So you move underneath. You go to warp. You do like this barrel roll. You come out of warp right between the 2 planets. You grab with
Right
the,
in the gap that he
in the
created
gap.
with the
You-
gravitational
and you
force.
grab with the
Wow.
tractor beam, and using your inertia, wrench the ships out of between the planet's tidal forces, just as the debris fields and the gravimetric waves collide with each other
Oh.
and send shockwaves out. I am sitting on a horde of threat, so I'm still going to deal some damage to the ship, but it's only
Go
going to be dealing half the
nuts.
amount that was coming your way.
Get at me with that. Do
I
it.
still have shields up. Go for it.
1, 2, 3.
Is this to me or
And,
to him or to both?
No, it'd be
no,
to me.
to the horizon,
Yeah.
it's going to be 4, but your resistance is 5.
Resistance is 6.
Resistance is 6. But it's piercing and devastating and dampening, so it cuts your resistance down by 2.
Okay.
So resistance is 4, but I only dealt. What did I say? 5 or 4? I had 1.
It's 4 that
Yeah,
you said.
I had a 4. So nothing happens from the gravimetric wave.
High five.
The debris cloud is shielded and is absorbed by the shields of the Triton, and deals 1, 2, 3, 4, and vicious and spread. It's going to deal 6 points of damage to your shields. How many points of damage do you have left in your shields?
I have 2 points of shields left.
It deals 8 points of damage to your shields. Your shields are down.
Fine.
Get out of here with
And,
those shields.
And you move your way out. Just as you move your way out of the planet, you get word that the Papa Bear has broken free and is making away from the planet.
And the Papa Bear has used its tractor beam to grab the saucer section of the horizon.
The Papa Bear comes in and assists, and you both grab the horizon and you lift her sorry broken ass out of orbit.
Unfortunately, I failed my rolls, so I just whipped the saucer section into the 2 of you. I
It was a
apologize.
difficult-
Frisbee.
That was
I
in a difficulty
apologize.
0. It's fine. The
Oh my god.
the saucer section, the horizon being towed out by the Triton and the Papa Bear break orbit, just as you see in your rear view view screen, the two planets collide.
We are
other.
recording this.
Of course.
for posterity.
Yes.
Of course.
For science.
For science, yeah.
For science.
They
I think that's the
destroy
coolest
everything on the
friggin'
planet.
thing. So cool.
Beautiful.
Is there any way that we can check for Tredek's life sign or anything?
You
just
can-
want to make sure he's okay.
Did he make it? It's just two planets blasting into each other. Is he good?
Well,
Did what's
see
her
his
name
weird
save him?
fingers.
Rush him with her warp pod and save him? From the warp.
Sigmund?
No.
Sigmund? Yeah,
Sigmund's gone.
Did she save him?
She got the hell out of here.
Yeah, didn't want to stick around.
From each of your places on your different ships, this is what would have happened too. It would have been interesting if the Horizon had remained trapped. There might have still been a way out for you. As you're moving away from the dying planet, as everything's crashing into each other and the two are now like colliding in and the two planets are being obliterated, you see the following phenomena unfold before your eyes. Massive beams of energy that the Horizon was pushing out through its navigational dish changes in color and freezes in place and then spins into glittering swirls of prismatic light.
You could have
Rips.
been a prism.
Yeah. That's cool.
Rips in space or in the air open up before you, spilling out every color of the rainbow in every possible direction, cycling through the spectrum into countless colors you've never thought could exist, which carry the scent of 100,000 species of flowers. The swirling vortices on the planet and aboard the starships are approximately humanoid-sized, and they're appearing inside all of your ships. And while those appearing in space are large enough for even a Galaxy-class ship to pass through, so they're appearing as these giant images all around the system.
Holy crap.
As you take in the spectacle, in front of every single character this is appearing, a feminine form appears within each vortex, presenting the same message to each of you all at the same time. As before, it's a tall humanoid alien, clad in a form-fitting dress with what appears to be wings on her back and a small sweeping tiara atop her head, with short dark hair and wide open eyes that are solid blue with no evidence of an iris or pupil. She takes full shape within the shimmering light. She reaches a hand out towards you, either in greeting or supplication. Friends, well met. I am Ashtamalia of the Displaced Tilakal. My people and I need your help. We have been trapped for countless millennia in this broken dimension, and we must escape. The prismatic lights flicker, nearly glow out, and then surge back. The stress on Ashtamalia's face is palpable as the light flickers, as if some great effort is being made to keep the vortices open. There is no time. We cannot hold open the way. Take my hand, please. And she reaches out her hand to each of you simultaneously, somehow being able to appear in multiple places at the same time. Even through the ship-size portal, she reaches out, massive hand. Each of you need to tell me what you do.
My choice is obvious. My
Yeah.
value is kind hand. I take that hand.
All right.
So there on the Papa Bear, you see the first person, the science officer, grasps Ashtamalia, and she takes her hand and grasps back collectively with an expression of profound gratitude, pulls him into the vortex, and his vortex closes.
Oh my.
What do the three of you do?
I, Joshua, very, very, very much as a consummate explorer, want to take her hand, but I know that my character, Commander Haddock, will wants to be captain too much to go into that void of nothingness.
This would have been interesting if the Horizon had remained trapped. This would have been your escape hatch.
Yeah.
You would have continued through with her hand, but
Yeah.
different now being
And
towed behind the other.
she's
ships.
asking for us to go to another dimension to save her people.
That's what she's asking.
Well,
Someone's already said yes. You, the captains, can bring your entire ship if you wanted to.
Well, I don't want to bring all these people on my boat to another place because it's their place to choose whether or not they want to go. I'm
You're
not
their
going to bring my
captain.
whole ship.
You're their captain. They'll follow you.
And I don't know because they got all their families and stuff on here, and like
Didn't stop
I don't
you
want
anyway.
bring all these people.
Brought
Like,
them into the Shackleton expanse. you
yeah,
know?
like,
they
fucking-
knew what they were signing up for.
and our ship. But wait, my ship is still in 2 pieces. We haven't reattached the disc,
No,
have we?
They're still in 2 pieces.
When you say no, Haddock, she gives him a sad nod and fades back into the vortex, which then swirls and collapses and winks out of your sight.
Stephen Prince is still on the bridge of the disc.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hail him briefly and say, "Get everyone home, please." And then I'm going to take her hand. Because it's what a captain would do. We're Federation. We help people.
I was hoping you'd say that, Captain, because with my values stronger as a collective, I already knew in my heart that I would take that hand.
That's very nice.
Also, he's still broke, so you still got to fix.
He is broke, but
And
he's a
Poor
good
busted old
captain.
man.
It's okay. We're getting
I love it.
some
You're
crew
You're leaving
members
one person behind to
say
take
yes,
care of this.
and some crew members say no.
You guys can go have fun in paradise. I gotta handle this.
He just fucking disappears, and Commander Haddock reads the message. He's like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" "Oh, you, god damn it!" Like, bye.
So, Haddock, you're the only one left.
It's true.
You've got the 3 ships.
So, as the only highest ranking officer left remaining, well, actually,
Well, and
sorry,
Captain
there is
Knight.
Captain Knight. Captain Knight wasn't offered the same choice. She didn't go through.
she didn't go through.
Bitch.
Maybe,
I
maybe,
mean,
or maybe the whole Papa Bear does.
I would accept that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so the Papa Bear.
Okay. So there's 2
So,
ships.
so the Ash Tamalia's hand grabs the entire Intrepid ship and just kind of pulls it in, and then it closes around and disappears.
So as the newly assigned fleet captain, because there's no,
Yeah, who else
I have
is
2
gonna
ships.
do it?
And anybody else on the ship who decided to come with. Actually, and I hate to do this as a retcon. Would I be able to like open a channel to the people that are on my boat still? That are all on the ship,
Sure.
like a
What was the captain's last message?
but before we go through the captain's last message is, I'm not expecting any of you to come with, but we are Federation and it is what we do. So anyone who wants to stay aboard the Horizon. It will take you home. Haddock, take care of my boat for me while I'm gone. I will need it when I return. Captain Gavin Atlas Schofield, out. Grabs the hand.
Hand to the view screen.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, all right.
You
so
son of a
I will
bitch!
take both of these ships home.
So you bloodied and limp your way back out of the Candidate 3 system, or whatever is left of it, and you make your way back to Narendra Station. Captain Akul sees you only coming back with 2 ships instead of 3, and slightly less life signs than when you left.
One of them's in 2 pieces.
Admiral Hebert.
Actually, we would have put
Oh, yeah,
them back together
In order
because
to travel at warp. Right.
Admiral Hebert wants a full report to understand what happened to all these crew.
I'm not sure I can answer all of the questions he has, but I'll give him a full report as much as I can.
Yeah, and the some questions remain about what happened to the people who went through the portals. No one
Not sure that I know.
receives any message. No one knows what happened. The scans on the ships show that there were no portals that were detectable by our sensors, but people just walked forward and vanished. Whatever you saw with your eyes, but not with scans. Recordings of the event don't show this.
Oh, none of the scanners picked up the instances from happening. There was no portal
Yeah.
as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, which is there's a number of times we've come across their crystals and they're like, there's nothing in here, but there's obviously something in here. And it's just our sensors just aren't able to see what's going on. In terms of where the 3 of you went and where the U.S.S. Papa Bear went, the Living Campaign is silent on that because that's where the story actually stops writing.
Oh.
And it's up to us either to continue playing in a dimension where physics has no meaning. It's kind of like you went off to Doctor Strange World, or it will be something that's picked up in the future Living Campaign, or we return to the Living Campaign in season 2, and you're making new characters. We never really learned for a while what happened to the people who went through to help the Tilakal. Only
Except for
that
Haddock.
you freed them from the sarcophagus, presumably succeeded in teleporting them, and that's what created the phenomena that you saw, giving them a chance to bring help over to their side, trapped in a broken dimension, to bring them home. But I don't know what happens here. All I know is that some people were left behind who returned back to the station to file a report and be given a commendation and probably a promotion somewhere around. Captain Haddock.
Captain Haddock.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, yeah.
Yeah.
The horizon is it's going to take some while to patch it up and see if it's even shipworthy anymore.
Well, if it is shipworthy, I request that until Schofield comes back.
Oh, you have a
It
command.
gets
You're on
turned
the Triton.
into a museum.
It gets turned into a Starbucks.
This is the chair that he would sit in and grumble about things whenever he got up.
Welcome to the Schofield Resort. They turn into a Planet Hollywood. Where do you think you went?
Well, here's the thing. If there's an alien race that is capable of making portals through dimensions, not just space and time, but other realities, that requested the help of perceivably lesser beings, then that's certainly curious. That what would humans and other random aliens from the Federation be able to do that they couldn't? But I mean, we assisted them in getting their thing up and running again and saving all those folks. So it's like, who knows?
It's actually very classic for race of super beings to have no ability at the lower levels, and so like they've just progressed so far past that that they can't conceive it. So they can't even touch the dials that used to exist on the panels, right?
They can't fix their own planet,
right? And Tredic had an example of that. It's like, I can't do this thing, so it's beneath him, but not in a
cleaning out the crowd.
Not a negative way.
Yeah.
It's just he doesn't work that way anymore. So that's where we would come into play. And
if I'm not mistaken, there was an episode of Star Trek where something like that happened, where they needed people to help them reproduce because they had evolved beyond the need for reproduction.
My theory on the Tilakal is they were explorers in their own way, using the sarcophagi to transport their consciousnesses across realities and dimensions, exploring the different planes of existence in the way that the Federation uses starships. And in some of those journeys, though, something happened where their technology backfired and they were all separated from their physical forms. And they were trapped out in whatever place they were traveling to, all of them. And trapped out there, all they could do is preserve their physical forms in hope that one day they would have the ability to return. And wherever they went, something went wrong and it broke them away, that severed their consciousness from their form.
It's very transhumanist.
And they were able to reach out in a way to recruit someone like Assessor Tredic or construct someone like Assessor Tredic. We don't really know what he is, to remain as like the last sentinel on this planet. We don't know what the Tilakal looked like other than that one image of Ashtamalia, but is that just a projection? And where you are all gone off to is you have truly gone where no one has gone before.
Exactly.
And they do offer some hint. If the players decide to move their entire ship in the dimensional rifts, they depart known space and enter a strange dimension where things are not as they seem. Physics seem to obey different laws than they're used to, and seemingly any thought can become reality, and any reality can become thought.
Sounds like
the crew may wander in this strange alternate dimension, and then encounter beings that call themselves the Tilakal, but maybe so, or maybe not.
So there was a character in The Next Generation who
Traveler.
appeared in three episodes, the Traveler, and he took the Enterprise to not necessarily a different dimension,
but to another galaxy, so
far from where we are that it might as well have been a different dimension. And he did it all with the power of thought. And what he was trying to teach Wesley was that thought and reality aren't as separate as we think they are. We're just not able to comprehend how they could be together.
Are similar.
And when Tredic kept saying we're out of time, that to me is, in our reality, time space is the same thing. So that's how I knew it was a very separate, like they had been cut off in some way.
Yeah.
If players choose not to take Ashtamalia's offer, they're left to gather what additional data and artifacts they can salvage from the rubble of the destroyed planets and then return to Narendra Station. They'll resume regular duties and exploration of the Expanse, along with the threats contained within the galaxy due to the encroaching Dominion threat. They'll be able to analyze the data gathered from the ruins of the 2 planets through additional secrets, though additional secrets about how the technology actually worked will remain puzzle pieces, with the full picture frustratingly out of sight. Strange anomalies in ancient technology remain to be discovered and analyzed, though it will be decades before another Tilakal attempt to create a bridge between dimensions. ...
Well,
So-
I'll keep your seat warm for you
Thanks, buddy.
for decades.
It's kind of a bit of Cisco going off to be with the prophets, kind of an ending, and all of this.
I love
It does leave an open end to this campaign. We've solved more or less what was going on in the Shackleton Expanse, and they were all connected. But it's also left many more questions about the fate of the crew and the Horizon and the U.S.S. Papa Bear.
That's why they don't show up in canon.
That's why they don't show they're gone. So and there are talks of a second season of the Living Campaign being made, and maybe we'll return to it, and maybe we won't. We'll see
But
what
it
happens.
also, as a campaign, as a jumping off point.
Yeah.
Like if somebody wasn't sure how to do this system, this has been a great way to do that. And now
it's
go off
done.
and
Now
create
it's
your
great.
own.
Now you graduate from that and off to really see what happens next.
I actually have a question, given that you've looked at both. So the Living Campaign, they were releasing adventures that took place in both the 23rd century and the 24th century. And they were linked in some ways, correct?
They were linked. There were these. I only played one campaign of 23rd. I haven't had a chance to read through them all. There's like a dozen of them, but they seem to all be linking around other supermassive structures, and not in the Shackleton Expanse, but maybe other things that connect to not the Tilakal like in the Shackleton Expanse, but why their dimension is broken and why this happened. And it doesn't. Where we've learned the who. The 23rd century campaign kind of answers the how, but you don't really know who it affected in the way that you would in the 24th century. And I believe they are also given a similar option to go through at the end and disappear off to where no one is, and it brings them both into a single timeline. And so,
which is cool if
the
you've played
Tilakal
both.
reach out
Your
every
characters
few
continue.
decades, right? So 75 years ago, they may have made a similar offer.
Mm-hmm.
And now again here on a much grander scale. So there we are.
Well, I had a lot of fun, and I am very happy that I was available to bring Conal Haddock back for this final. Final
kind of like
session.
having Sulu return and being captain of the Excelsior.
That's right.
It's sort of here you are, and it's like, shoo, all right, Captain, it's all yours. Let's blow this place and go home. Thanks for joining me here on this game. I had a really good time. The next game we're playing that we're recording at the end of March is so this is somewhere in April, I believe, is the Forbidden Lands game. I'm very excited about it. I was showing this to you guys before we started recording. And then the game after that is Pokemon, the role-playing game with Julian Splain returning to the show. And then we're done for a while. We'll have some bonus things recorded from Breakout Con and maybe the Storm Crow Manor, and we'll see sort of where it goes. But regular episodes will be coming to an end at the end of our Pokemon game, resuming with a new season sometime in the future. I'm thinking probably the beginning of 2020. For our Star Trek Adventures game, I've been your GM, running you through this very weird story, Justin Ecock, with my crew of the Horizon. They always will be. The captain off to parts unknown.
I am Conal Macbeth, better known in the nerd community as Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, having played Captain Gavin Atlas Schofield.
Erika Szabo, counselor to our captain, Tazar.
Joshua Barbeau, playing perhaps for the last time, who knows? Captain Conal Haddock.
You did it. You made it.
You made it! Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Not a court martial to be found.
I am the Velvet Duke of the Dandies, and I have been Science Extreme, Lieutenant Commander Bolasa.
Now you're all like sharing a single consciousness in some like
Some off
hippie,
place.
crystal-powered kaleidoscope reality.
Hell yeah.
So Tazar's place.
Anyway, that's it. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on the next adventure here on the Terrible Warriors. Till then, be good to each other. Bye.
Bye.
And that does it for this, our Star Trek Adventures Living campaign. And if you're a Patreon supporter, you can head over to our Patreon page right now at patreon.com/terriblewarriors, where you can gain access to this week's debrief episode, not just for this campaign, but for the last year and a half of playing Star Trek Adventures. It's a really big story arc to finally wrap up. Of course, Star Trek Adventures is published by Modiphius Entertainment, and this episode, The Displaced, was written by Jim Johnson. This show is only possible because of our ongoing support from our Patreon supporters. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for supporting independent podcasters. Becoming a Patreon supporter doesn't just gain you access to an exclusive episode after each of our campaigns. You also will get postcards sent to you in the mail, and you can also join in on our monthly private games. Right now, Ravenloft with Mike the Birdman Dodd, as well as sign an entire group up, and we will run a game of your choice, tailor-made just for you and your friends. And if you'd like to get a taste of what one of those private games are like, well, good news. We have a sponsor at the Storm Crow Manor here in Toronto, Ontario, and they are offering up one of those seats at our private games. We have a form that you can fill out, and we'll do a little raffle. We'll roll the dice, and if your name comes up, you will be invited to sit in the chair that the Storm Crow Manor has purchased for you. For more information on that raffle, you should be following our Twitter account at Dice Warriors, or head over to our Patreon page where we have another post sharing about that. Now, the Storm Crow Manor is also supporting us because we are supporting them with their DM and Dine program. You and your friends can book a table reserved in advance, and you get an appetizer and a main course, and 4 hours with the DM of your choice. You can book Justin from the Terrible Warriors, and I will run any of the games we have done on this show. Mostly the ones that I have run on this show, which is most of them. So if you'd like to play Apocalypse World, or Worldwide Wrestling the RPG, or Tales in the Loop, or Forbidden Lands, or Star Trek Adventures, I can do that for you. And yes, I'll also play Dungeons & Dragons. Don't worry, that one's still on the menu as well. For more information on that, dmdineto.com. Next week, we get ready to play a brand new game by Free League Games. They're the ones who did Tales in the Loop, Mutant Year Zero, and Coriolis, and they sent us a copy of Forbidden Lands. Before we sit down to play that game, I got to sit down with Thomas Herenstam, the director of the Forbidden Lands. So we're going to chat with him on the next episode right here. Hey, Bree, you want to come in here and talk about that game we're doing after Forbidden Lands?
I feel like I've had enough wine to do that.
And now a surprise message from Bree.
And after the Forbidden Lands, for our season finale on The Terrible Warriors, we shot Gary Oak in the knee, we shanked a Pidgey, and we threw Money Shot the Weedle into a vat of acid.
Press F for respects.
And now we're back to ruin your childhood some more. Join us on the next campaign after the next campaign as we return to a reworked Pokemon the RPG.
Oh snap! Julian Spillane's returning as the Game Master.
Both Terrible
But
Warriors
is he?
Judases in the same room. You don't want to miss it. Does the real Professor Oak come back? Well, you'll have to tune in to find out, won't you?
Well, that would be a spoiler! Today's Terrible Warriors and your Starfleet officers who have gone off to where no one has gone before: Conal Macbeth, Erika Szabo, Velvet Duke, Neil Tavares, and Joshua Barbeau. Game Master Justin Ecock. Next week, an interview with Thomas Herenstam, the director of Forbidden Lands, followed by our playthrough of the Forbidden Lands, right here on the Terrible Warriors.